I don't like corn. I have decided officially that I don't like corn. I don't not like corn because it's not delicious. Because it is. We all know that it is. I grew corn in my earliest gardening journey. But I stopped growing it because it takes up too much space for the ears that you get. You get like about 4 stalks, 4 ears a stalk. And in the little space I had, if I had like 9 plants or even 12 plants, that's 48. 12 times 4, 48. But yeah, I had 9 plants in a box. There was some fungus I found on my corn, which I have since found out. I only learned in the last handful of years that fungus is actually a delicacy. But if you saw it, I said my plant called syphilis or some shit, because it was disgusting. It was some gray, styrofoam looking foam. It looked like it was foaming at the kernels. Some gray puke. It was gross. Or I thought it was gross, but again, it's supposed to be some kind of amazing, super overpriced delicacy. Who knew? So anyway, when I spotted that on my corn, I never went back to check my corn again until it was time to pull up all the plants. And come to find out, all of those other ears were beautiful and lemony yellow. So I just let all that corn go to waste, thinking that my whole crop was ruined because I saw this exquisite fungus that happened to my corn. Who knew it was exquisite? I didn't know it was exquisite at the time. And I didn't care to get involved enough with the internet to look it up, because I felt like I was being because I had specific instructions from Goddess herself in those phases of my gardening, as I do now, in phases now. But it doesn't mean that I don't learn from other places. But some areas, she's like, I need you to focus on this. Hone in and pay attention to this information first before you start hearing what people typically do. And I do. I listen to that. The plants that I'm wrestling with indoors still. I think I'm going to go ahead and chop down one of my tomatoes and get the pot ready for an outside tomato. I won't be growing patios because I have too many other type tomatoes that I'm growing this year. I felt like I was free because I found my cherry tomato, and it happened to be those black tomatoes, black cherry tomatoes. Cher, she showed out. She showed her ass. And I'm gonna really, really work to stunt her growth this season. To see what I can get in terms of a more stout plant. I'm gonna salt this water. I just salted the corn water. What I'm going to do is pull the corn from the corn water and then put in a whole bag of edamame after that. Boom. Because that only takes 10 minutes. I'm still trying to propagate my Jamaican cherry. I still got it. She's still alive. I know y'all, I gotta tell you about her. I had an overwintering struggle with her though. I'll give her her own little story time. It shouldn't take too long. Mr. accidentally showed me a new way to use my grinder. He didn't know how to use it, and so I showed him, and in showing him, he didn't realize he still had the top on. So he used it. and still had the top on. So when you take it off, all of the ground serving size of your garlic salt is on top. You just sprinkle it on the food. I was cutting slits and tucking the garlic inside the meat. Hydrate more, us. Be respectful of your vessels. Y'all missed it, y'all. God has spoke to us again in the kitchen. So I don't know if I had that brilliant idea before I took Mr. his dinner, but I had the brilliant idea to use the reboiled corn water for a batch of edamame. Good idea. I almost cooled it all the way off because I normally cool them all the way off, but I forgot I wanted to slather a hunk of this butter in there while it was still warm. I'm gonna give them a tall, deep shell container.